Hello, I'm SquidofLove, welcome back to Star Citizen. After a short delay, Alpha 2.2 is available on the live server and it brings some very interesting additions and changes to the game. Among these changes are two new vessels, the Sabre and the Xi'an Khartu-Al Scout, changes on the speed of the vessels, changes on their SCM and cruise speed, new cooler components but also a change on how shields are working, an improved physical EVA, and of course the most important addition is the addition of the hostility reputation system on Crusader, or if you prefer, the addition of an actual bounty hunting system on Crusader and Star Citizen in general. So let's go ahead now and take a look at all of these new features that Crusader and Star Citizen has to offer us with the Alpha 2.2 update, and of course we're gonna start with the most important and the most interesting one, which is the bounty hunting system. With this bounty hunting system, every criminal activity will be punished and you will be considered a wanted man. Other players will be able to come after you and destroy you without any real repercussion. Security forces will be able to hunt you down. Of course, it all depends on the place you are. Places now around Crusader are divided in monitored and not monitored, and that means that if you are a wanted criminal and enter a monitored space, then security forces will be spawned. They will come after you and will try to destroy you and actively hunt you down. If you are not in a monitor space, then nothing will happen, you can continue about your business. It is very easy to know if you are in a monitor space or not monitor space. There are three new icons that appear on the visor HUD now. The first one you can see over here means that we are in monitor space. The second means that we are inside the armistice zone of Port Olisar. And the third, if there was a third, it will show your level of criminal activity, your level of wanted criminal. What kind of activities are considered criminal activities in Star Citizen at the moment at this level of development? Let's go ahead and take a look. If you destroy an empty ship or collide with an empty ship inside monitor space, you will gain one level of wanted criminal, as you can see right here. This is the third icon that shows the level of your criminal activity. Another activity that will give you this level 1 wanted criminal icon is if you disable a communication array. These three actions will give you your first level of criminal activity, but no matter how many times you repeat them, they won't increase your wanted criminal level, so you will always stay at a level 1 as a wanted criminal. Your level of wanted criminal will start going up if you start killing other players, if you start destroying occupied ships that are landed or simply waiting inside the monitor space. If you go on a rampage, then you are gonna gain a lot more levels of wanted criminal, and the highest level is at level 5. At that point, everybody inside your instance will get a mission and they will have as an objective to try and take you down, try and destroy you. So if you wanna be the number one enemy of everybody inside your instance, then go ahead and start killing players inside monitor space. These are the activities that will get you a level of wanted criminal, and of course these are the activities and features we have to play with at the moment in Star Citizen and Crusader. I hope and I'm certain that in the future, as the game develops, the bounty hunt system will expand in other interesting features and activities as well, such as smuggling. It will be simply awesome to try and avoid scans from security forces while you are carrying illegal goods. Overall, this addition of the bounty hunting system is the first step towards the right direction, and it makes the Star Citizen universe a lot more dynamic. Of course, this is happening in monitor space. If you go in areas that are not monitored by the Crusader security forces, then they are just a huge free-for-all battleground. You can go there, attack everybody else, and everybody will be able to attack you, have some PvP fun without any real worries. Like we said, if you enter a monitor space while you are wanted, then security forces will be spawned and will come after you, and thanks to the new hostility and reputation system, they will be fierce against you. That includes all NPC, pirates and security forces. If you attack them, they will come back after you, they will attack you and will try to kill you with whatever they have. They will be relentless. And again, this is another great change that makes the world, the universe around Crusader a lot more interesting and a lot more dangerous for us players. This is what will happen if you are a wanted criminal and die. You will not lose your level of wanted criminal, but you will return to Port Olisar and will have to spend some jail time. You will be confined in your room aboard Port Olisar for a certain time, depending your level of wanted criminal. Like I said, this is the only way to return to Port Olisar if you are a criminal, because you are not allowed to visit this area while having a level of criminal activity. And although this isn't final yet, it shows that RSI want to create consequences for your actions. You can just not go on a rampage, kill everybody, and then come and visit Port Olisar, hanging there without any real problem. If you want to be a criminal, if you want to play the criminal, then you will have to face the consequences. At the moment, there are two ways to remove the level of your criminal activity. The first one is to stay in space for 10 minutes without performing any other criminal activity. This will remove one level of one criminal for you. But of course, if you are at level 5, that will take almost an hour to clear your status. The second way is faster, but also more dangerous. And this is because you will have to visit the infamous security port area and hack a certain console. It will take 1 minute to clear one level of criminal activity, but at the same time there will be other criminals around this area that will try to use that same console as you. So in your attempt to clear your status, you will have probably to face other criminals, and you will have probably to kill them or be killed by them. It is a very interesting concept. You can wait for 10 minutes for each level of criminal activity, or you can just go for the fastest way and deal with other criminals like yourself. We have mentioned at the beginning that when someone reaches a level 5 of criminal activity, a global quest will be given to all other players in that same instance and will ask them to hunt him down. The person that will manage to kill that criminal will be given a new class and wear an ATT-4 energy rifle as a reward, and that reward will be waiting for him on his room at Port Olisar. I do like a lot what RSI is trying to do with this bounty hunting system. It creates actions and reactions, it creates consequences for your actions. It is a very nice system, and I hope it will be expanded later. Something I forgot to mention, and we should mention it, is that if someone out there attacks you, then he will be flagged hostile to you, and you will have absolutely no problem to fight back at him and kill him if you want. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the other changes that the Alpha 2.2 will bring, has brought already to the game. As you can see, the FPS movement is improved, it's much better than it used to be before. And the physical EVA is enabled for one more time. It feels a lot more realistic. We can boost with shift and directional keys. In general, I do prefer it than the previous system. It feels a lot more real and better way to EVA than before.
A reason to why I commed. I'm sort of not allowed to leave my post. Important jump point scanning and all. So I was hoping you might be able to help me with something. If you have a second, could you check out these coordinates? Scans are saying something's there, but can't ID it.
There are also changes on the mission system and how missions work now around Crusader. Visiting communication arrays will not unlock research missions for you. You will have to visit the probe by yourself, and when you do that, you will get a mission to check some coordinates like you have heard. These missions will be unlocked for you and will appear on your mobile glass, so do not worry, you will always know what you have to search, what you have to check in order to complete it. Other changes around Crusader have to do with the better scaling of the Crusader and the moons around it. They have been positioned in a more appropriate distance, one from each other, and the number of players for each instance has been increased from 16 to 24. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the two new ships that were added with the Alpha 2.2. The first one is the Sabre, which is fly ready in Arena Commander and the Crusader, and it is a fighter, a space superiority fighter with impressive weaponry and some stealth features that are not yet implemented in the game. Overall, it is a great ship for everyone that wants to perform combat activities. And the second one is the Xi'an Khartu-Al Scout, an alien ship that is looking quite beautiful and exotic. This little vessel acts more like an explorer or scout. It doesn't have main thrusters. It has a lot of maneuvering thrusters, giving it a great maneuverability, great agility. At the moment it is available only as hangar ready. New cooler components have been added to the game and they are giving us freedom into creating our builds. At the moment there are only 2 models available, the Wang Kessel and the cooler and the J-Span Cryostar cooler, that will help us dissipate heat that is generated by other modules on our vessels. At the moment only weapons can create heat like that, so the coolers will be quite helpful if you want to have some weapons that generate heat, a lot of heat, and want to counter this somehow. In general, as the game continues to develop and we're getting closer and closer to a more stable version, we will be getting a lot more equipment and we will have the freedom to create a build that is more personal, a build that is suited more for our playstyle. Every ship in the game has been given default coolers, but we can remove them. We can take a look at them at the holotab. We can see that we have some coolers installed that help dissipate the heat generated by our weapons. We can remove these and read the 2 modules, the 2 models that are available on the electronic store, and use them instead if we want. In general, we can help fight the heat that is generated by our weapons with these 2 new modules. These were the main changes that Alpha 2.2 has brought to Star Citizen, and especially the bounty hunting system is absolutely amazing. It makes the universe a lot more alive and a lot more interesting. Thank you very much for joining me watching this video. I'm SquidofLove and I will see you next time. Bye bye.